Man, Rooster, it's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere. Arr, arr, arr. And we're back.
You guys know
That show.
you made it.
We got a little darker here.
Yeah, right. We were gonna see if you guys had noticed this freaking dark beer. It's actually pretty good. Like I said, most of the time, heavier stuff I'm not huge on. I was in Ireland and I went to the what's it called, the freaking factory,
Guinness?
the Guinness factory. We went through. It was awesome. Saw all the touring, whatever.
Did you have a warm Guinness?
So we ended the day going up to the top of the tower, and they gave Guinness to everybody. And it was funny because it was all so like professional and like. And I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Took a sip. I was like, I don't.
It's
I walked over to a plant. Oh, so good.
All you did was feed the plant.
The plant in that room was like dying, but obviously I wasn't the first person to do it. So
Yeah, that's something that I learned the other day was, or actually, well, yeah, it was yesterday. So you walk up to an Irishman at a bar and you hand him 2 Guinness. What's that? It's Irish handcuffs.
that's fucking hilarious. Irish handcuffs. That's perfect. That's fucking hilarious. What? I guess you would consider this like a fall type of beer.
Oh yeah, it's Oktoberfest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's got a lot of really cool flavors in it. It's got like a little biscuity in there. And
We're drinking during the antithesis of that.
It's true, yeah.
It's springtime.
It is definitely spring. Are you all ready? I mean, it's time. We're coming out of the hibernation period.
I was gonna say, in Colorado, you can't even fucking tell because it's like a week or two of 70 degrees. You're like, yeah, summer's here. And then one day it just absolutely dumps snow, and we're snowy, cold, windy for another 4 or 5 days.
Well, what was it? One year ago or 2 years ago, we got snow on the first day of summer.
Yeah, that was last year. Yeah,
was it last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, bipolar. This state is bipolar. It's like, oh, you want to have fun?
Right.
Too bad.
My mom keeps trying to like pull out the flowers and like do this and do that and stuff and get ready, and we keep trying to tell her, we're like, it's funny because the rule of thumb in Colorado is essentially Mother's Day. Mother's Day. You gotta make it to Mother's Day,
and we had
before you can do anything.
A bad 3 years ago, we had a bad cyclone that came through.
Oh yeah,
and just
it was early May. Yeah, it just dumped everybody. Yeah,
destroyed my greenhouse.
Wait, you had put it out that year?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you put it out like
because
a week
it was
or two earlier,
unseasonably warm. Up 2-3 weeks before that.
You thought you'd take a chance.
Yep, we put it out, and nope, decided to collapse it.
Son of a bitch. What were you gonna grow in there?
Oh, we still did. I mean, I just ended up rigging it back up.
Yeah.
But we had
together.
tomatoes and blackberries and all kinds of stuff in there. I mean, it was
the only growing I've ever done is a marijuana plant.
Oh my god!
So I've never actually tried to grow tomatoes or food or anything.
Speaking of which, it was just 420.
Yep, exactly.
It was just
a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that brings us into a whole other conversation, doesn't it?
Right. It seems like now that it's legal though, the hype of 420 has gone down a little bit. I remember when it was illegal, like the huge freaking stuff they used to have in Denver of people just right out front of the courthouse smoking and just like a big middle finger to the government. And now it's legal and it's just like, okay, am I going to go out to the city hall building and protest, or am I just going to stay home and get high?
I have to walk away from the pizza rolls, or can I have them at arm's length?
Facts. Literally. I didn't hear about any like huge event. I mean, there's obviously the yearly event they do in the middle of Denver, but I didn't hear anything about huge. I thought about going up to like a dispensary and seeing what the prices were and everything.
I think the biggest hurdle that they face and all that is the taxation.
Who?
Right? The dispensary owners.
Oh,
and the grows and everything else.
It's hard for them to even turn a profit because they have to
I don't
pay
believe
so
any of
much
them
tax.
do.
I was talking to a guy who runs a grow house in the vape shop a week or two ago, and he was saying, he was like, 90% of them don't even make a profit because you're paying so much in tax. I was like, that is freaking crazy. crazy to be like, oh, I'm going to get into this industry and make a bunch of money and work really hard, and then
it boils down to something really insane, like 78 cents of every dollar.
Yeah,
go to taxes.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Right.
That's
so how are you supposed to clear a profit margin, pay all payroll, supplies
for the warehouse, for
all that?
Like how the fuck?
How do you do that?
Seriously,
no.
Literally, it was just a cue by the government to be like, okay, you want to make us this money? You can make us this money. We'll let you do it, and we keep 80% of the profits.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. I think of just a few days ago, Woody Harrelson was in D.C. Proactively supporting the federal government delisting it off of Schedule 1 because, and his point was very interesting. He said, even if you don't consume it, right? There are still a lot of people that don't consume it that want it legalized because they feel like it's pulling away resources that don't need to be expended, right? Because it doesn't. The reality of marijuana is you don't die. You can't die from an overdose on it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not doing any more harm than alcohol.
Yeah. So you're saying the average person is willing to accept it because the laws against it are inconvenient to them, are causing them what kind of trouble?
Think about all the law enforcement that's involved.
The resources is what you said.
Right.
That's what you said. The resources that go to combating it when essentially everybody consumes it anyway. That's why the average person would have an opposition to it.
And then the legal business owners that are in that market, think about how much money they've lost for years.
Yeah.
I mean, we're literally past a decade.
Yeah.
Right? 2010, it really spun out.
I think it was 12 it was legalized, right?
Well, 2010 was basically the inception.
Yeah, yeah.
It took another couple of years for it to really, all the laws to kind of lay down and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you look at that timeline to where we are now, it's been over a decade.
Yeah.
And these people are still suffering. I mean, and they know for a fact that people are still buying black market marijuana.
Of course, yeah.
And not going to a dispensary because they don't have to pay taxes on it.
Yep.
And so why do that to a business owner?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? You're encouraging them to open a business, spend all these thousands of dollars to have a license, inspections, everything else.
And
but you're not
everything out of them.
But you're not allowing them to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right. I mean, they have to be making some degree of money, right? Or else they wouldn't be open. If they weren't making some profit, even with
it's a continuous promise. It's like the old thing, you put the carrot in front of the horse.
Oh, they're just like stick out a little longer, just to last for a little longer,
and you've got all these multiple, people. I mean, thousands upon thousands of people that have money that sink money into these operations, thinking this is the year it's going to turn. This is the year it's going to turn. And then they just get wiped out.
Yep.
And then no wonder that you have a lot of these operations that do backdoor deals.
Of course,
so they can pay their bills.
They can make money, literally, so they can afford to pay for the fucking
they can pay their bills.
Yeah.
And it's seriously. Like, shocker.
Shocker. The sketchiest thing, my other job is working AV for this attorney general company where they get attorneys general together and they talk about things. And what I hear most of all from the attorney general is, if it's funny because they say to the other AGs, if your children are smoking marijuana, make sure that either you or them, they're getting it from a dispensary, because otherwise there's always the risk of it being mixed with fentanyl. There's been so much weed popping up mixed with fentanyl and fentanyl overdoses from people who are going to smoke weed from the black market side, obviously.
Right. And that, honestly, fentanyl is as scary as it is, right? Because a single tiny little molecule.
It's like 0.01 micrograms or something.
It's even smaller than that.
It's so small.
You can die from it.
Literally.
Okay. There's another drug that's 100 times more potent than fentanyl.
God. God.
That's being imported. It literally, one molecule can kill an elephant.
Jesus Christ!
And so
one molecule.
But you got to think what they're doing. They're making it more and more potent, more smaller. So literally, you can bring something in the size of a pinhead. If you have a chemist who knows how to mix it, now you've just created $500,000 worth of product.
For real, yeah.
Right. And that's what's scary, is that science now is like, oh no, you think you got it figured out? Let me show you something.
We gotta go ahead and double down. We gotta flip the script. I mean, and we're gonna be 10,000 times as potent.
You think about all the businesses that think about McDonald's. If McDonald's was taxed at the same rate as marijuana,
because it's an addictive chemical.
Yeah, but look at what fast food chains do to America. Okay,
facts.
Look at about all 60% of the products you buy off the shelf in the supermarket.
Yep.
If those were all taxed at the same rate because they cause harm to American people,
they wouldn't make any money.
Do you think they would stand by and go, "Oh, we'll wait
until they flip this.
We'll wait. It'll be fine. It'll be fine." No.
It's funny because you look at pictures. Like, there's a picture of a beach in California in 1974, a picture in 2023, and in 1974, 100% all skinny. Like, everybody at the beach is skinny, and in 2023, there's like 80% of them are all overweight. And then I watched this whole documentary about the correlation of the introduction of high fructose corn syrup and how your body can't process it correctly, and like. It's essentially an addictive chemical that kills Americans.
And your body processes it completely differently. So it automatically converts it to fat.
Exactly. To live on your liver.
Right.
It cannot, high fructose corn syrup, your body literally cannot process. So the only thing it can do with it is turn it into fat that builds up on your liver. And a fatty liver contributes to heart disease and all kinds of other things. And it's like, that's legal. You can go buy 1 million pounds of that if you want to.
Right. At wholesale. At wholesale.
Seriously.
You can have it on tap, a little pump dispenser.
Right.
It's like when you go to Starbucks and you're like, "Hey, I need the caramel." And you're like, "Okay, there you go." That's what you're buying.
You got a high fructose corn syrup pump.
Yeah, that's what you're buying. It does we just put a flavor in it. That's fine. You want how much? We'll just keep going. And the only reason I know this is that one of my boys actually works at a Starbucks.
Oh, really?
And so he does that a couple times a week.
Oh.
And so he tells me,
and they got the high fructose pump?
I mean, it's all the different syrups.
Oh, and the caramel.
And the number one additive in there is the corn syrup.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right? Yeah. But you think about it, and I said, well, how much coffee do they really get? And he's like, 2 ounces. The rest of it's milk and sugars and syrups and everything else. And people are lining up.
Literally.
Lining up every day. They're like, "No, take my money. Take it.
Give me some of that high fructose.
I need that crack.
I need that high fructose.
I need that crack." It's like, what?
Dude.
It's horrible, and we're talking about spring and how it's time to bust out.
The new year.
You're out and about, you start enjoying the outdoors again, which is fishing season.
Facts. We're getting our license. When should we do that? Like
ASAP.
Okay, yeah. Let's do that ASAP, and then we can get that done
for
Mother's Day.
We might have some footage of when we go and just hang out. And
that'd be sick. Throw a clip on of us just fishing, chilling. I'm down. So you guys are gonna see it. Let's go. That's awesome.
I mean, it is time to get out. It's time to enjoy the fresh air and get away from everybody. Just decompress, crack a beer, just enjoy the day. If you're not doing that, if you're not just getting out of your house and just taking 10 minutes to yourself and just going and enjoying the open air and just like decompressing mentally, shame on you.
Seriously. It's funny because the mental difference that I see, it's when you start growing up, you start figuring out how things that you do actually affect how you feel, And like, it's easy. It makes sense. Like, going outside makes you feel good. No fucking shit. But you step outside for a little while and you spend 30 minutes just sitting on the porch, like doing whatever, sitting in the sun. And it's my mental health of feeling great every day. Sitting in the sun is a huge factor of that. So.
Well, when I was younger. I'm getting to the point now where people are starting to...
How much younger? How far back in the history books are we going?
They're starting to look at papaya paper.
Let's pull out the Mayan calendar real quick. Where, James? Where are you thinking?
We had beepers. We had pagers.
Oh, yeah, pagers.
Right? Yeah. And so when we would go camping and do other things, a lot of times there was a trail when I was a young teenager that I would literally get dropped off at one point and somebody would pick me up at another point. But it took me a day and a half.
To make the travel.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so I would do that on my own.
Yeah.
When I got older and I started driving myself, right, and somebody would pick me up at the end and take me back to my car or my truck, I would leave my pager. In your car, yeah. Because I didn't want anything on my mind. 100%. Because the world is the world. It's going to do what it's going to do. Things are going to happen. They're out of your control, right? Period. I don't care what it is. And as a parent, you worry about your children all the time. But there's a point too where you have to be able to release. You have to be able to just let go and just say, the world is the world. It's going to do what it's going to do.
And I'm going to take 24 hours to fucking relax.
And I can't do anything about it.
Exactly.
You know, I can't do anything about it. And so why try to be in this little bubble microcosm, right, where you're trying to control everything all the time?
Yeah.
The stress level that you put yourself under is not worth it.
For seriously.
You just, even just 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. You know, when we go fishing, we're out there for 4 hours or so, and we don't care. We just joke. We just have a good time. We have a beer. We just hope we get a bite. You know, and that. But it makes the world a difference when you're done.
You notice for the next like 2 weeks or a month, you just feel great. It lasts with you. That whole time that you get to yourself and get to unwind your mind, it just like sticks with you, and you get to. It's the best.
You know, and there's just something about fishing too. Is like, and I get older. I mean, you haven't experienced like bass fishing and a lot of the other stuff. Everybody that knows me, I'm a cat fisherman. I just go out and I like to throw the stinkiest crap I can in the water.
Big ball of mud on the end of
and I sit there and I just watch. Because I just wait for that tip of that rod to just bink, 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 whoop, just go down. You know, we took a trip years ago, and you know, bless my family for sitting out with me because I sat out for hours on the side of this lake because I was told if you want a big fish, you got to go down to this lower lake, you got to go do this thing. And I went down there, and the wind was nasty that night. It wasn't nice. And I waited all night, and then finally, whap! And then I got a 10-pounder out of it.
Damn,
and I was like,
hell yeah.
It was worth it.
There it is.
It was worth it. I was like, see, it does work. A little bit of patience.
I was just with this whole TikTok thing going on, 95% of people ain't got the patience to do that.
They don't. But the opposite of that is that you might encourage somebody to take interest in something and 100%. Realize that it may not be, it might have been like the enticement in the beginning, but then they get out there and they're like, I don't hear anything.
That's the thing for me.
I don't.
The
phones aren't going
pure
off.
Piece of just sitting out there and relaxing. 100%, totally agree.
So it's definitely worth it. I mean, people need to spend more time outdoors, enjoying themselves, relaxing a little bit, decompressing.
Find some time for yourself, people. Get out of here.
Yeah. Let us know your little things you do. That you can decompress. Maybe it's only 10 minutes a day. Maybe it's a half an hour. Maybe it's an hour a week, or every couple of weeks you just disappear for 3-4 hours, and people are like, "What are you doing?" And then you're at some weird little micro museum. You're building little small towns.
Your little niche.
I don't know what you're doing. You're hanging out at Tiny Town.
Tiny Town.
I don't know. I mean,
seriously.
But there's just so much you can do, right?
Oh yeah, but it's funny because like I've talked about being like in time with technology, you get so much satisfaction from each swipe and scroll. When you get away and you disconnect from the world and you get a second to just unwind and not think about anything, it like puts everything into perspective about the cheap thrill that this is. And the like full experience, like the expensive experience you have to spend time dedicating to for the full piece that you get from like relaxing and getting away from all that stuff.
I mean, the memories that you make if you share it with somebody. Those are invaluable. You can't get that from 15, 30 seconds of immediacy.
Exactly.
Those things, they stick with you for the rest of your life, and you can actually relate to that and explain that to people, and then people are like, "But you didn't involve your phone?"
but you didn't have your phone on you?
Did you order that on Amazon?
Oh, nice fishing pole. Right?
No, I did get that on Amazon. So I could leave.
So I could get away.
I didn't have the time to go to the store, so I had it sent to me.
Spend some time to yourself. Figure out what you got to do to unwind.
Enjoy your family this spring.
Springtime. But unless the next round's on you guys,
we gotta go. Cheers.
That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to, that show.